Hello and welcome to Schedules Plus Tutorials. Today we're going to take a look at what is the Telephone Reassurance Program. First of all, let's talk about the definition of the Telephone Reassurance Program. TRP is a new module that really enables your site to create, schedule, and track calls and outreach to individuals. It is something that is designed to track your contacts with one individual, and it includes multiple outreach activities to that person. It's different than what you do in the services module. Services module is create a service request on a specific day at a specific time, and that is a singular event. In the Telephone Reassurance Program, you are adding a person to the program for a period of time, say the month of April, and during that period of time, you will be reaching out to them on various dates and times, and you will track that outreach in their record. And if there is a follow-up needed, you can also track that as well. It can be very valuable during crises like we're seeing right now with what's going on with COVID. And it's really useful in the sense that you can add a person to be a part of the program for a length of time. So you can add a person to be part of the program for a month, for 2 months, or what have you. Additionally, you're going to be able to assign an individual to a specific administrator. So you may have 30 people that you put into the program, and 10 people are going to be contacted by one admin, 10 by another, and so on. Each interaction you can track in terms of the status of the interaction. Is the individual okay? Does it need follow-up? Was there no answer? And then you can track the individual notes. Further, you can actually have conversation templates so that if you have many people that you are reaching out to with several admins doing the contacts, you can have a consistent conversation template that every admin is using in their outreach. So let's take a look at how you set it up. Here you're seeing the TRP tab, and we are on the home page for TRP. And we already have a couple of active participants that we previously added to the program. So we have Mark and we have Mary, and the classification of them in the system is set as they define: low risk, medium risk, high risk, or no classification. It gives you a nice summary of when that person was last reached out to, the status of that, how many calls have gone on, and then what is the length of time that they're in the program. If we take a look at Mary's interactions, we're just going to click on Mary's record. And as we look at her interactions on the left-hand side, we see her key information. And this is where the admin would likely come to initiate their next conversation or their next dialogue with Mary. So we can easily see she's at high risk. It reflects the telephone number that is the preferred number, and also her emergency contacts are added here. So if you are unable to reach her and you feel that the emergency contact needs to be reached, you have that information available to you. And then the history of notes is found in the middle. So each note, it has its own individual ID. It shows whether it's open or closed. Anything that's light gray is closed, meaning it's done and you don't need to worry about it any further. It is ordered by the most recent logged record. So you can see here the order, the older records are at the bottom and the newer records are at the top. You can also see here you have the ability to identify for that specific logged record whether or not it is a high severity thing, meaning it really requires some urgent attention. And you can also identify if there's a follow-up needed and when that follow-up should take place. So here you can see the text of what the admin logged. It shows that we called her, she needs food, we will get someone there by the 14th, and we're setting up a follow-up date on the 15th to ensure she's received the item. If that has been updated or we need to further edit that, we can easily do that by clicking on the ID number, and that record now, that logged record, shows up in the right, and we can make additions. And we can update that, and the record now is updated. As we add new records, we can click the Add New button and add a new record with a new day and time. So if the 15th is here and we've made that contact, we can go in and update this record and show that contact. Or we can edit the original record and reflect that it no longer needs follow-up, it's all okay, update that record and save it. If we find that some of Mary's information needs to be updated, perhaps there's a second emergency contact, you can easily update her participant information in the emergency contacts that are part of her record. You can also classify Mary with none, low risk, medium risk, or high risk. So this also is helpful to your organization so that you can zero in on high risk individuals should that be necessary. It's very easy to add a new person to the program. Simply click on Add Someone, look for the person you're going to add, select them, and then it pre-populates with information from their person record, including their emergency contact information. You can edit that further if you'd need to, and then you'd identify the start and end dates for how long this individual will be a part of the program, and whether or not there is a classification. You can also assign specific admins to be that primary contact for that person. Once we save that record, we can now start creating records. So if we've reached out to an individual today, checked in, all is well, appreciated the call, no follow-up is needed, we go ahead and add this record. That is now added and it's automatically closed because it had an OK status. If you're interested in seeing all follow-ups, because each one of these logged records, you have the ability to put a follow-up date in there. If you want to see them all in a follow-up calendar, you can easily do that by clicking on the Follow-up Calendar tab. And anyone that's got an open record that requires follow-up will be reflected. And you can easily hover over the name of that person and see the detail behind that. And if you want to pursue it further, you can easily click on that and it will take you to that individual's record. Another nice feature in the TRP is that you can create templates. And templates can be very valuable if you want to control and guide your administrators through various conversations as they're doing their outreach. So maybe in the first week you have one set of questions, in the second week you have a separate set of questions, and so on. So you can create these templates under the Template tab, add a new template, and create those questions. So here we're adding 3 questions. Are you feeling well? Do you need any supplies? Would you like us to follow up with you in the future? So by saving this template now, it becomes a template available to you as outreach is done. So let's just say we're going to go in and have outreach with Mark, and we're going to add a new record, and we can now use that particular template to guide our process. So by selecting that template, we can click on it, and those questions now will show for us to guide our conversation. So as we continue the conversation with Mark, we can make our notes and proceed from there. Back home on the TRP tab, you can filter your list. You can filter by those with high severity issues. You can filter it by last status, so if you're looking for all the ones where follow-up is needed. So you have the ability to zero in on particular action areas. Finally, for a quick description of what the Telephone Reassurance Program is, again, you can click on the What is TRP tab, and the description is there for you. Thank you for joining this tutorial. If you'd like more information, please visit our informational website. Thank you.